What's next for you career-wise and personally? I don't think you guys know this, but do you still want to be a software engineer? I had 2 RSU vesting dates. Was working at Amazon as stressful as people say? I can't believe I even need to answer this. I just lost a lot of interest. Are you staying in Seattle? Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is a long overdue Q&A video regarding my recent major life update. I've just been sick for the past couple weeks and just trying to get back into my routine. We were traveling, so that's why we got sick. In this video though, I kind of just roam around the city and answer all the questions that I asked you guys from Instagram as well as the YouTube community page. So without further ado, let's just get started and hope you guys enjoy the scenic views of Seattle while I just roamed around the city and answered these questions for you all. All right, see you guys soon. How did you prepare mentally before leaving Amazon? I mentioned this in my quitting video, but before I actually quit, I was mentally ready for a couple months, I think. To be honest, I did want to quit maybe a month earlier, but I had 2 RSU vesting dates in the upcoming months, so I did delay it just so I could get the vest. And I mean, it was the smart decision to do, to wait in order to get the RSUs that I was granted. So yeah, I think mentally I was just really ready to move on. All right, so next question, why did you leave Amazon or the tech industry? So as I mentioned, I have a previous video that I uploaded that delves more into it, but long story short, after several cycles of burnout and, to be frank, a toxic work environment, I just decided to leave and step away and kind of just do something for myself, because I'm only young once and this is the time where I will have the least risk. So I just decided to take like a creative gap year, if you would say, to just figure things out and what I want my next chapter to be. And yeah, that's pretty much the short answer. If you guys are more curious about the longer story and the longer version, I'll link my quitting video below. Was working at Amazon as stressful as people say? Yes, I would say short answer, yes. A lot of the times I felt like we were compromising this engineering excellence for the sake of getting a timeline done. So I think that contributes to a lot of stress. It's just a very fast-paced environment and there's a lot of pressure. As an engineer, you're also just treated as a statistic, in my opinion, and that was just my experience. If you guys also worked at Amazon or big tech, let me know if that was how you felt. But at the end of the day, I really just felt like I was just another number, like employee number 10,001, and wasn't really treated as well. And it's just a really bad feeling to have. And I think there's always a limit to how long people could handle working at a place like Amazon. So it was just time to leave, and yeah, that's my answer. Was it as stressful as people say? Yes. Why not just switch to another tech company instead of leaving altogether? So that's a good question. And to be frank, I always knew for the long term, I didn't want to be in the tech industry working a corporate job forever. And I think my goal was always to find some sort of exit path. Obviously, I wish that my exit path was more defined and smooth, but emotionally and mentally, I just felt like right now was the best time for me to leave. And I wouldn't have been able to make this decision without the community that I have built around me, not only with my YouTube channel, but also my close friends. A lot of my close friends are either full-time content creators or they work for themselves. So just seeing them build their own dream life and put all of their effort into whatever their passions are, it really motivated me to just stop doing this part-time and try to pursue it full-time and kind of find my own path outside of my corporate job. I also know that if I were to just switch to another company, I wouldn't have been fulfilled. And I think that's the main reason why I'm not doing that, is just my fulfillment and overall happiness. I think it's just really important to do whatever you're doing with a purpose and feeling fulfilled. In the past year in my day job, I just felt Like everything was meaningless and whatever I'm doing in life was just not really doing much for me. So yeah, it was an easy decision at the end of the day. We are at Chicha Sanchen. I just ordered us tea online. If you guys live in the Bellevue or Seattle area, this is one of the biggest hacks that I could just give to you guys is to order Chicha Sanchen online and just pick up. It's usually ready by the time that I'm here. And it'll just save you a lot of time because the line right now is like stretching out the door. And this is the new location. It's really pretty. You see the line. All right, so while we have our tea, I'm going to answer a few more questions. Do you still want to be a software engineer? I don't think I actually ever said this, but I still am a software engineer. I don't think I'll ever not feel like I'm a software engineer. I think that's a very big part of me, and it's still one of my biggest reasons why I started this YouTube channel. I really wanted to inspire and just encourage other people who are from non-traditional tech background, or even just inspire different people to get into the tech industry. Even if I'm just doing self-development and just doing coding projects by myself, I'll always be a software engineer. So I think in the past 2 videos, I saw a lot of people asking me what I'm going to do next if I'm not a software engineer, and I was really surprised because I didn't mean to imply that I'm leaving this field entirely. So I hope that clarifies some things. I'm always gonna work on my coding skills and just development that will just fulfill me. In the past year, I just lost a lot of interest in the type of projects I was getting at work, and I ultimately just decided that I don't think I'll ever be fully fulfilled working on a project or building something for someone else for their dreams instead of my own. So that's one of the main reasons why I left. But to answer the question really shortly, yes, I'm still a software engineer, just for myself and for different projects, and not for a big tech company. Do you want to ask me the next question?
Yeah, what's the next question? Okay. What are the biggest lessons or takeaways that you've learned since leaving Amazon?
The biggest lesson I learned is it's just a job at the end of the day. Literally, you're not out there saving the world, so no need to stress so much about it. Like at the end of the day, it's just a 9-to-5 job. I think that's one thing that it took years for me to realize that it's not the whole purpose of you like living life. And just don't take it so seriously, especially on the days where it's just, you're getting so much stress from it, or you're just in a place where you just feel very stuck. I would just say that there's so many other opportunities, there's so many other things to do in life other than stress over your job. And yeah, it's just a job at the end of the day. All right, so the next question, what from your tech experience will you carry with you into your next chapter? So I definitely think this is a good question. So if anything, I think I'll take the experience of project management and developing at such a large scale with me, especially with such relevant tech stack. I think that's like one of the biggest benefits of working at Amazon is that you work with AWS and all of the internal tools that comes with it. So I think that is probably the biggest experience I have, especially because I was also in a team where we launched a product from zero. Like I joined this team when there was only designs, and I was one of the first people to write in the code base itself. So I have that experience, which I'm super grateful for because I have that startup environment in such a large company like Amazon. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest key takeaways that I'll be getting from leaving Amazon. I also think that just makes me more confident with whatever I do next because I have that experience, if it makes sense, because whatever I do next, I feel won't be as scary. And especially if I'm doing any personal projects, it won't feel as scary because I just know what it's like having that pressure and building at such a large scale that whatever I do next will feel easier for me personally. If you guys also work in tech and have left the big tech environment, let me know if this is something that you resonate with, because I don't know why. Maybe it's just the experience that I have working in big tech, but nothing feels scary anymore. And I think that's a good place to be in personally. I think it just means that I grew a lot in my role while I was at Amazon, so I think it's just one of the positives that I'll take from this experience. What's next for you career-wise and personally? Growing up, I feel like my creative energy was suppressed most of my life, so that's why I even started my YouTube channel. Once I got older, it was just a way for me to have a creative outlet. And growing up, I always thought that being good at math and science was the key to success, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I do think that I am more of a creative person, so this is gonna be like my creative gap years and just focus on content creation. And I feel like I have a lot of life experiences to share with you guys as well, so I definitely want to sprinkle more of that into my content in general. And yeah.
Oh, here's the fountain.
Are you staying in Seattle? This was one of the most commonly asked questions, and yes, I will be staying in Seattle. I don't think you guys know this, but I pretty much lived in all of the major parts of the US. I was born and raised in Anchorage, Alaska. I went to school in the Midwest, in Michigan specifically, and then I worked in DC for 2 years out of college, and now I'm in Seattle. So I literally have lived in all of the major parts of the US, and Seattle is my favorite place that I've lived in, mainly because of the weather. And I feel like Seattle has that stereotype of just being really cloudy and rainy all the time. I don't think that's the case. Even the winter season, I feel like it doesn't rain that much. It's just very misty. It is gloomy, but it's also sunny a lot too. And I don't really mind a little bit of gloom. Among all the places I've lived in, I prefer Seattle's weather the most, and also the culture here. I don't know, it just makes me happy. So I think for at least the near future, I'll still be in Seattle. I don't know where else I would want to live, to be honest. In my early 20s, I did fantasize about, living and working in Seattle and then moving over to San Francisco, because I wanted that experience of working in the startup Tech Valley area. That desire has gone away after COVID just because of the way things are in the Bay Area, and nothing there is really gravitating. I love San Francisco for visiting, but I don't think I would want to live there. What do you like about Seattle?
I like the scenery.
The scenery?
I like the weather.
I agree.
Like the scenery, the weather. I like that it's the perfect blend of city and nature. You got green, and you have walkability, and you have just everything that most other cities don't have, which it's just like a mix of all the things at one. And I come from Texas. The weather sucks there. It's blazing hot. There's hurricanes and it rains. Over here, when it rains, it doesn't pour. You can walk around with just a light jacket and you're good to go. But you can't get weather like this anywhere else. Right now it's blue skies and like 70s. This is really good weather. I like it here.
That was one thing I really hated about living in the Midwest and the East Coast is the rain. Whenever it rains, it's like pouring, like very thick rain. I just hated it. And there'd be thunderstorms in the summertime as well because of how humid it is. So we never get that type of rain here. It's just misty. So I don't know why Seattle has that stereotype, because I feel like it rained more in the Midwest and East Coast when I was living there. Okay, this was also a very common question. Are you financially independent or getting support from your partner and family? I can't believe I even need to answer this, but I've been and always will be a very hyper-independent person. I don't rely on my family or my partner for anything, literally anything, and I'm just not the type to do that. So Yes, I am financially supporting myself. Obviously, my partner and I, we do split the bill and we split the rent and everything. I could probably dive more into the financial realities of leaving a six-figure, high-paying income. But that will be in a future video because there's just a lot that's involved in terms of being financially stable and like figuring out everything like your 401k or health insurance. So I definitely want to have a more dedicated video in terms of all the financial decisions that I made or even saving up for such a big life change like this in a future video. So if you have any specific questions about finances and I'm comfortable answering them, I will in my future video about it. How are you pivoting your content now that you're no longer working in tech? Well, I think it will still just be about me navigating my 20s. I feel like my videos were always representative of me navigating my career and personal life. But it'll definitely not be so big tech focused anymore, obviously. But I don't know if you guys know Macy Lay. I hope I'm saying her last name correctly, but she's always that creator that I want to strive to be like. I just love her whole story and her creative story as well. She worked as a software engineer in the corporate environment and she quickly realized she didn't like it, and she started doing YouTube videos and doing development and design, and now she has Cozy Lee Studios and she makes amazing products with her sister and her partner. So whenever I see her and I see her content, I'm just so inspired because she basically removed herself from an environment that she didn't feel comfortable or really fulfilled in, and she was able to build such a beautiful audience and community and such amazing products from that. So she's one of the creators that I always look up to. I've never told her that myself, but whenever I get a chance, I definitely want to tell her that because I just love what she does and she creates such a cozy environment, and she's just one of my favorite tech content creators, and I think she's doing amazing. Should I lay down in one of it? It's wet. My butt is already wet. How do you come up with content ideas that resonate with your audience? I feel like I only talk about things that I'm personally going through, and I think that has worked in terms of people also resonating with me, because if you think about it, we're all kind of just going through the same thing, just in different phases, I believe. And whenever I open up to my close friends who are also in the same tech industry about what I'm going through, they always say that they are going through the same thing or they have gone through this in the past. So I think that's how I come up with my content, because I also view my YouTube channel as kind of like a personal diary and kind of give advice that I wish I had in my early 20s at different stages in my career or personal life. So I kind of view it as a way for me to give advice to you guys. And actually one of my subscribers, she said that she always felt like I was her big sister in tech, and that's what I want to be. I think at the end of the day, I just want to encourage or just be some sort of comfort for you guys who might be going through the same thing as me. What's the hardest part of being a content creator? For me, I think it's comparing myself with other content creators, especially those who are in the same niche. I think it's really easy for you to fall into the comparison trap, but I also did this with my 9-to-5 as well. I think it's just a very human thing to do, but in the content creation side, I think it's just a lot more easy to start comparing yourself. A lot of people might think that it's the judgment that you might get, but I honestly could care less about those people who leave the mean comments and the very judgy comments. I think you call them keyboard warriors. I could care less about them because you'll always get hate in one form or another. So even in life, if you guys are going through something, it doesn't have to be content creation related, but there's always going to be people who don't root for you, and that's okay. And it's just the way it is. You just got to surround yourself with people who will. Do you have any personal projects coming up? Well, I think my personal projects will be, I want to start creating more short form content, and in terms of software engineering side of projects, revamp my personal site again, continue working on Matt's site. I haven't touched that project in like 2 months just because I've been really busy with work and just major life changes. So yeah, for the short term, that's what I'll be working on. And hopefully just working on those things will lead into more opportunities. I'm honestly in no rush of like trying to look for projects myself, just because I feel like I owe it to myself just to kind of have a reset moment before I really dive into all the other things that I want to do. So yeah, if you guys want to follow me on my Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, I'll have it all below. And you'll have more content out from me soon. So this is Miu Miu. We just walked into this tea shop in Japantown. We've never been, didn't even know it existed. But Miu Miu let us in here.
She just came on my lap.
Yeah, thank you so much. The tea's really good too. All right, so while I have my T1 Yen tea, we are going to finish up the last set of questions. So this is just a lot of advice that you guys were asking for. So the first one is, what advice do you have for students or early career folks who want to work in big tech? For this, I will say in your first few years in tech, it's probably the most formative years because you're learning so much. You're probably an L4 wanting to get promoted to an L5 or whatever level it is in your company. So I would say just learn as much as you can, but document everything, because that'll be really important for your promotion document, and it'll just help track all of your data points that you have for that promotion. Also, don't forget that your 9 to 5 isn't the whole world. I know, especially in your early career, you might want to prioritize working a lot, but it's not important. You should prioritize relationships. You should prioritize relationships or friendships or even just family time.
Okay. How can someone without a degree break into software engineering?
Okay, so I have a lot of friends actually, or past colleagues who didn't even have a degree. And what they did was just really cram that LeetCode code in and perfect your data structures and algorithm, because that's essentially the most crucial part of your interview. I think they did have some experience in terms of doing their own projects on the side in order to just build up that resume, but especially when you're entering big tech, you just need to prioritize acing that data structure and algorithm technical interview. So it was just a lot of studying and prioritizing that portion. Okay, so that is it for my Q&A video. Thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, I'm sure we'll have many more of these in the future. So in the meantime, I will see you in the next vlog and have a good day. Bye-bye.